Now we're going to look at some words related to visual arts. The first word is abstract. Abstract. It's an adjective. This has a couple of meanings. Number one, existing as thoughts or ideas and not as something physical that you can see or touch. Number two, of art, consisting of shapes or patterns that do not look like real people or things. In the word family, we have abstract. That's a verb. Abstract has two quite different meanings. It can mean to remove something from somewhere, or it can mean to make a written summary of something, like a book. And then we have the noun abstract. That can mean an abstract work of art, or a short piece of writing containing the main ideas in a document. There you can see an abstract painting. And here are some collocations. An abstract concept, an abstract idea, an abstract notion, an abstract principle, an abstract artwork or work of art, an abstract drawing, an abstract painting, an abstract picture, and an abstract sculpture. Discussing abstract ideas might not seem very useful, but it can encourage critical thinking. There are several abstract sculptures dotted throughout the park. If an area is dotted with things, there are several of them there, but they are spread apart. In the picture, you can see an abstract sculpture. The next word is canvas. Canvas. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It has a few meanings. Number one, strong, heavy material used for making tents, sails, bags, etc., and by artists for painting on. Number two, a piece of this cloth used for painting on. Number three, a painting done on this type of cloth, usually with oil paint. In the picture, you can see a blank canvas. Ethel always tries to take canvas bags to the supermarket so she doesn't have to use plastic bags. You need to bring a blank canvas to your first art class. The gallery has several canvases by Matisse. Next we have caricature. Caricature. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It has a few meanings. Number one, a funny drawing or picture of a person that makes them look silly by exaggerating some of their features. They're often done of politicians. Number two, a description of a person or thing that makes them seem silly because it is exaggerated or only partly true. Number three, the art of drawing or writing caricatures. Let's see the word family. First we have the verb caricature, and that means to produce a caricature of something or somebody. Then we have the noun caricaturist. That's a person who draws or writes caricatures. The politician was very offended by the caricature of him that an artist had posted online. The main character in the novel is a caricature of a 1920s socialite. A socialite is somebody who is well known for going to fashionable parties and who is usually rich. That cartoonist is highly skilled at caricature. Next we have the verb carve. Carve. This has several meanings, but these two are the main ones. It can mean to make objects or patterns by cutting something, especially wood or stone. It can also mean to write or create patterns on the surface of something by cutting into it. The noun is carving. That can mean an object or pattern that has been carved, or the art of making objects this way. There you can see a lion carved from stone. The sculptor usually carves statues out of stone, but she sometimes practices with wood. The young couple carved their initials and a heart into the trunk of a tree. This word is charcoal. Charcoal. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number 1, a hard black substance made of burnt wood which can be used as fuel. That's what you can see in the picture on the side. Number 2, this substance used for drawing. In the picture, you can see a charcoal drawing. We need to buy some charcoal for the barbecue. Frank enjoys drawing with charcoal, and yesterday he left black fingerprints all over my walls. She has many charcoal drawings in her house. I bought a set of charcoals for my art class. Charcoal for drawing often comes in sticks. Next we have clay. Clay. It's an uncountable noun. Clay is a type of thick, heavy earth that is soft when it is wet and becomes hard when it is baked in a kiln. A kiln is a type of very hot oven. It is often used to make bricks, pots, and dishes. In the picture, you can see a man making a dish from clay. You need to work fairly quickly when making things from clay because you don't want it to dry out. Most houses in this area are made of clay bricks. Now we have the verb commission. Commission. This has a couple of meanings. Number 1, to formally ask someone to write or create something for you, such as a report or a piece of art, or to perform a task. Number 2, to formally ask for a special piece of work from someone. Those two definitions might sound the same, but what they mean are you can commission a person to do something, or you can commission a thing. We'll see in the examples. The noun is also commission. That has several meanings, but the meaning which is closely related to these meanings is a formal request for a piece of work. Here are some collocations. To commission an artist. To commission a composer. To commission a journalist. To commission a writer. To commission an article. To commission a painting. To commission a piece of music. And to commission a report. The mayor's office commissioned a local artist to paint a mural on the side of the town hall. A mural is a large painting on a wall. The magazine commissioned a series of articles on the negative aspects of the wellness industry. This word is depict. Depict. It's a verb. To depict means to show an image of someone or something in a picture, or to describe someone or something in writing. The noun is depiction. That means the act of depicting somebody or something, or the description or representation of somebody or something. The ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, which was painted by Michelangelo, depicts 9 scenes from the book of Genesis. The book depicts the lives of ordinary citizens in late 20th century England. Next we have the verb engrave. Engrave. It means to cut words, pictures, or patterns on a hard surface, such as wood, metal, or stone. Let's see the word family. First we have the noun engraving. That has a couple of meanings. It can mean a picture made by cutting a design on a piece of metal and then printing the design on paper. And it can mean the art of cutting words, pictures, or patterns on hard surfaces. There's also the noun engraver, and that's a person who engraves things. This piece of stone has animals engraved on it. The artist had engraved his name at the bottom of the sculpture. The ring had a date in Roman numerals engraved on it. Now we have frame. Frame. This is a countable and plural noun. It has a few meanings. Number 1, a structure made of wood, metal, plastic, etc. that holds a picture, door, window, etc. in position. Number 2, the basic structure of a building, vehicle, piece of furniture, etc. that gives it its strength and shape. Number 3, plural. The part of a pair of glasses that holds its lenses that is usually made of metal or plastic. So these are the frames of my glasses. In the word family, we have the verb frame. That has several meanings, but the main meaning is to put or make a frame or border around something. Then we have the adjective framed, and that means having a frame. There you can see an ornate picture frame. The art critic disparagingly said that the frame was worth more than the painting. Disparagingly means in a way that criticizes something or somebody. We tried to repair the bicycle, but the frame was too damaged. Have you seen my glasses? The frames are red. Next we have landscape. Landscape. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number 1, a large area of land with a particular type of appearance. Number 2, a painting of an area of countryside or this style of painting. The verb is landscape. That means to make an area of land more attractive by changing the design and planting trees, flowers, etc. There you can see a landscape painting. We drove through some beautiful rural landscapes on our trip to England. His art collection includes several landscapes. John Constable is one of England's best-known landscape painters. Now we have marble. Marble. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number 1, a type of hard rock which is usually white with dark lines. It becomes smooth when polished and is often used as a building material and for making statues. Number 2, a small coloured glass ball that is used in children's games. Those are the little balls that you can see in the second picture. The adjective is marbled, and that means having the colours and or patterns of the rock marble. The ancient Greeks and Romans carved many statues from marble. Children used to play with marbles a lot, but now they're more likely to play with phones. This word is masterpiece. Masterpiece. It's a countable noun. A masterpiece is a work of art, such as a painting, movie, or book, that is of very high quality. It is often the artist's best work, or one of their best works. The Mona Lisa and Michelangelo's David are considered masterpieces. Moonlight Sonata is one of Beethoven's masterpieces. The museum houses many masterpieces from the Renaissance. Don McLean's song American Pie is considered a musical masterpiece of the 20th century. Now we have oil painting. Oil painting. This is a countable and uncountable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number 1, a picture painted with oil paint. That's a thick paint with an oil base. It's what you can see in the picture on the side. Number 2, the art of painting with oil paint. Down below you can see an oil painting. One of the most famous oil paintings in the world is the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. Oil painting became very popular during the 15th century. Now we have pop art. Pop art. This is an uncountable noun. Pop art is a type of art that emerged in the UK and the US in the 1950s and which uses images based on things in popular culture and everyday life, such as advertising, film, and mass-produced objects. Pop is a shortening of popular. Andy Warhol and Roy Lichtenstein were prominent figures in the pop art movement. That picture is not by Andy Warhol or Roy Lichtenstein, but it is an example of pop art. Next we have portrait. Portrait. It's a countable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number 1, a painting, drawing, or photograph of a person, usually of the head and shoulders. Number 2, a detailed description or representation of someone or something. Let's see the word family. First we have the noun portraiture. That means the art of making portraits. And then we have the noun portraitist. That's a person who makes portraits. There you can see a portrait of William Shakespeare. Here's a usage tip. It is occasionally used to refer to a picture of a group of people. For example, there was a large family portrait hanging in their hallway. A family portrait is a picture of a family. Members of the nobility used to regularly commission artists to paint portraits of them. The book paints a realistic portrait of life in France during World War II. Now we have primary colour. Primary colour. It's a countable noun. In British spelling, there's a U in colour. This means one of the three colours, blue, red, and yellow, that can be combined to make all other colours. You also can't make these colours from other colours. You can't take two other colours and make red, for example. These colours exist on their own. Here's a usage tip. Secondary colours are created by mixing equal amounts of two primary colours. These are orange from red and yellow, green from yellow and blue, and purple from blue and red. If you don't want to buy lots of different coloured paints, you can just buy the primary colours plus black and white. Blue is a primary colour, so you can't make it by combining other colours. Next we have the verb sketch. Sketch. It means to make a quick drawing of something, usually with pencils or pens. The noun is also sketch. That's a simple picture that was drawn quickly. The adjective is sketchy. That means not detailed and therefore not very useful. He likes to sit by the river and sketch on his sketch pad. Ethel sketched the woman who was lying on the grass. Now we have spray paint. Spray paint. It's an uncountable noun. It's paint that you can spray onto a surface from a can. In the picture, you can see cans of spray paint. The verb is also spray paint. That means to paint using spray paint. We tend to associate spray paint with vandalism, but it is also often used in contemporary art. Next we have still life. Still life. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number one, a painting or drawing of objects that do not move, such as fruit, flowers, or bowls. Number two, the art of painting or drawing these types of pictures. There you can see a still life or a still life painting. I used to paint still lifes, but now I always paint landscapes. The art student preferred still life to portraits. And there's a little usage tip. The plural, if it's countable, is still lifes, not still lives. So it's with an F, not a V. Now we have the adjective vivid. Vivid. It has a couple of meanings. Number one, of memories, dreams, descriptions, etc. Producing very clear and detailed images in the mind. Number two, of light, colours, patterns, etc. Strong and bright. The noun is vividness. That means the quality of being vivid. The adverb is vividly. And there you can see some very vivid colours. Here are some collocations. A vivid colour, a vivid description, a vivid dream, a vivid imagination, a vivid memory, and a vivid nightmare. We are most likely to have vivid dreams during a phase called REM, rapid eye movement, sleep. The artist chose rich, vivid colors for his painting. The final one for this topic is watercolor. Watercolor. It's a countable and uncountable noun. It can mean a type of paint that you mix with water, or a picture painted with watercolor or watercolors. Down below you can see a watercolor or a watercolor painting. Painting with watercolor requires a lot of skill because it is difficult to correct your mistakes. My roommate left his brushes and watercolors all over the dining room table. I love the watercolor that's hanging on your living room wall. Recently, Frank and Ethel decided to sign up for some art classes. Ethel thought it would be a good idea to first start with some sketching classes and to learn how to draw with different types of pencils and charcoals. But Frank wanted to take watercolor classes immediately. He didn't produce any masterpieces, and I don't think I'll be commissioning him to paint something for me anytime soon. But to be fair, some of his paintings were aesthetically pleasing. It's hard to say what they're supposed to depict, but we could call them abstract works of vivid colour. It turned out that Ethel was a natural when it came to drawing, and within a few weeks she was doing portraits as well as some rather hilarious caricatures of celebrities. They then both took some oil painting classes. Before their classes, they needed to buy some canvas to paint on, as well as some oil paints. The teacher said that they only needed to buy the primary colours, plus black and white, because they were also going to learn how to mix colours. They started off by painting simple still lifes, and then moved on to landscapes and pop art. Frank particularly liked pop art, and decided to put a picture that he had painted of a toaster in a frame. Finally, they took some sculpture classes. They first did some work with clay, but it was carving wood that they particularly enjoyed. Frank would have preferred to work with marble, but the teacher said that that was a bit advanced and expensive. Frank was particularly proud of his sculpture of a fire hydrant. He even painted it with spray paint and engraved his name on the bottom of it.
you.